What's going on with y'all out there, man? What's popping? What's popping? Hey, good afternoon. I don't be on here a lot, man, like I used to, man, because work been getting to me. But every now and again, there be like topics that I really want to talk about. But before we get into that, hey, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. I appreciate the subscribers and support we've been getting over the channel for the past couple of weeks here. We are up to 202 subscribers. I appreciate y'all. The road to 250 is soon. Once you get to 250, I'm going to do another giveaway. I knew I did a giveaway a while back. It was successful. We gave away NBA 2K25 to a lucky um supporter slash subscriber. So if you're not already followed or subscribed up, follow all my socials right below, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all like, obviously comment, so we can get some engagement, some algorithm going on here. Today we're going to be talking about LeBron James' take on ring culture. And essentially, I want to break it down in three parts. What's ringing, and pretty much sum everything up. We got two videos that I'm going to be showing you guys. One, the discussion that actually brought everything, brought everything up in the beginning, which is LeBron James' first take, and then I'm gonna go to Gilbert Arenas because Draymond Green called out Gilbert Arenas for the fact that he felt like LeBron was, on to something. And honestly, I can't wait to talk to y'all about what I think because I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what LeBron James is talking about. A lot of individuals, like for some reason, act like they don't understand or they don't comprehend what LeBron James be talking about, and it be making me so mad, bro. Because he be saying it clear as day. Like LeBron James will literally say it clear as day. Like he will literally say it clear as day, and it makes me so mad. People don't be understanding it, bro. My bad, y'all. 1 second. Get that up out of here. So what we gonna do is we gonna watch the video first, and then we'll get into the actual like me discussing things. So let's listen to this first.
Discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all be all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. It's like, or if you won one, then you
Not
can't
enough.
be in the same conversation with this person. It's like,
But that's a great point because what you're saying is like, no matter what you have, you need more. No matter what.
Right.
No matter what. Like it never ends.
yeah,
right?
it's I don't know, man. It's just like you sit here and you tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won one ring or won two rings or one, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
So off rip, a lot of individuals want to nitpick at what LeBron James was saying. We know that Peyton Manning has 2 rings. Okay, cool. He made a mistake, but point proven. So my take on this ring culture thing is I'm gonna have to agree with LeBron James. And the reason being is before y'all say, of course you are because you're a LeBron James fan, I'm gonna break it down to you guys on what he's saying. Rings do matter. LeBron James is not stupid. This is what they play the game for. This is what they play the game for. But what LeBron James is saying is just because you don't have a ring doesn't mean you're not great. Essentially, rings shouldn't define the type of player that you were in the NBA. Because we have a lot of good players in the NBA, past, present, and we're going to have some in the future that won't win a ring, haven't won a ring, or hasn't won a ring still. But we view them as great players. But those players tend to get overshadowed by players that got a ring that really wasn't even a star player of that team. And we're going to get into a player here in a second once we go to the next video. But essentially, just because you have a certain amount of rings doesn't make you better than the next person. For example, I won't say Draymond Green yet because we got something to say about Draymond Green. But let's say Robert Horry. Who in their right mind is picking Robert Horry over Charles Barkley? Nobody. But the fact that he has 7 rings, he gets put in a different room, a different category. Same thing with LeBron James. He has 4 rings. So that means he can't touch Michael. He can't touch Kobe. He can't touch Tim Duncan. Even though I would personally pick LeBron over all those players. But that's because I'm a fan, obviously. But Stats don't lie as well. But a lot of individuals take this ring thing and run with it. And I feel like the media, big media, Stephen A, Skip Bayless, guys like that, they made it a thing that, hey, to stop the GOAT argument, you got to bring up the rings 6-0. But that can't be a thing, because if it's based off of rings, then there's no way that Michael should be number one because he only has 6. There's a guy by the name of Bill Russell that has 11. But when you bring up Bill Russell, they say, oh, that don't count. The league was still expanding. It wasn't that many teams. He was 7 foot. So what? He has 11 rings. And then Kareem has 6. But for some reason he's not in the top 4 for a lot of individuals. You know what I'm saying? So it's biased. If in other words, it's very biased, and rings really don't matter until Michael Jordan's name get brought up. But they have to double down on it, because now it's like, okay, do rings really matter? Because if they did, everybody in the top 75 should have a ring. Everybody. But there's players in the top 75 that don't have a ring at all. But they left out players that got multiple rings to put in players with no ring. How does that make sense? Now, if you got some logic behind it and want to say, well, this is the reason, well, you can comment below. But I'm telling you now, if it's about rings and this is what we play for, top 75, every player in the top 75 should have a ring. Period. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. With that being said, we're going to go to the next video.
Have some lengthy discussion.
Shout out to LeBron James Mind the Game podcast, and shout out to Gilbert Arenas, Gil's Arena, for both of these videos. I appreciate the works cited or the references. So thank you.
Discussions about ring culture. Well, Draymond Green appeared to disagree
Let's go, Draymond.
with your comments about ring culture last week on First Take. You said that rings of players who were second options are not held in the same regard as those who were first options on championship teams. So Draymond went on Threads and posted the following. He said, a bunch of non-champions having championship conversations. This world we live in is crazy.
So I'm going to stop it right there. Draymond Green, a bunch of non-champions having championship conversation. This world we live in is crazy. This is what I'm talking about, where the disrespect comes out. I'm not going to sit here and deny the greatness of Draymond Green, because he definitely was a focal point, an important part in those 4 rings with Golden State. I'm not going to take that away from him. However, Draymond Green has to stop talking like he was that guy. He was not that guy. And it's like he has 4 rings. So he puts himself in this position where he has the same amount of rings as LeBron. So he's on the same level as LeBron, in which that is not true. But see, the media allows y'all to think that that's a thing because of the rings. That's not true. Because think about it like this, bro. Draymond Green has 4 rings. That's 1 less than Kobe. So if Draymond Green wins another ring, he would have had 5. That means he's better than LeBron and on the same level as Kobe Bryant. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. You can't sit here and tell me that you're going to allow Draymond Green to sit at a table because he has 4 rings, but you won't let Allen Iverson sit at that same table. That's BS. There's no way you're doing that. And if you are, you don't know ball, and you need to stop talking about basketball.
As to which, Gil, you responded. You said, you should thank us for the convo so second options and thirds get a fair judgment. Clay with 4 rings left off the top 75. Pippen has 6 rings and sits 32 all time. 6 people in front of him with no rings. Why? Exclamation point. Not my opinion. It's my research that exposed they don't respect second option rings.
So I'm glad he said that. You should be thanking us for this convo so second options and thirds can get their fair judgment. Draymond Green, you are a third option, bro. You should want to talk about this more, because they don't really care about Klay Thompson's 4 rings. They don't care about yours, honestly. The only reason that people care about your 4 rings is people that follow you, bro. Like, you make it known, I got 4. You mean to tell me you picking Draymond Green over Paul George? Hell no. You gonna pick Paul George or not Paul George, Rudy Gay over Draymond? No. Like you gonna pick Kevin Garnett over Draymond Green? You gonna pick Paul Pierce? No, you're not gonna pick them. You're not gonna pick Draymond over them. And that's what I mean about this ring culture. Like, who do they think they are? And you know who's a prime suspect with this? Shaquille O'Neal. Because when him and Charles Barkley are arguing on live TV, he does this. And it's like, Shaq, that's weak. Because in reality, we know Charles Barkley cold with it. And there's not a lot of players that I would put above Charles Barkley. You know what I'm saying? Like, there isn't. And the fact that Clay was left off the top 75 with 4 rings, but they got Damian Lillard on there with no rings is crazy. So do rings really matter? Do they really matter?
So
Come at my friend like that.
No, that was.
I'm not coming at him. What am I coming at?
we're not done. We're not done. That's just the first part.
Right.
No
Draymond
way.
did offer a response. He quite frankly responded back with the following: said, "There would never be a reason for me to thank y'all about anything involving the game of basketball. Not one particular thing, Gil. He said anything involving the game of basketball. Not one thing. Not even the Gilbert Arenas provision in the CBA. Nothing. There's also nothing you guys can say or topic y'all can cover that can change anything for me when it comes to the game of basketball or the NBA. Only someone who has never been a champion would think that that's a conversation that would ever matter. Your research was just missing one key perspective, a champion that understands what it means and takes to do so. So it's just a tad bit flawed." Now, guys,
So basically, what Draymond Green is saying is Gilbert Arenas shouldn't be talking about this because he's not a champion. Dog, you can't say that because 90%, if not 100% of the media don't have a championship. Stephen A ain't got a championship. Max Kellerman ain't got a championship. I don't think Jay Will has a championship. Doggy doesn't have a championship. Like, some of these players ain't even played in the NBA. There is more people in the media that has never played in the NBA than there is that played. And remember that time that Jalen Rose talked about Skip Bayless' stats in high school and he got his ass booted off of that show because of that? It's same thing. Same thing. Y'all can go Google it. Jalen Rose talks about Skip Bayless. Water Pistol Pete. Remember that. This is what I mean. Like, so Draymond Green, you can't say this. This is flawed. So you mean to tell me you only can talk basketball if you've played it and or have a championship? Well, if that's the case, then 75 to 80% of the media needs to get fired, bro. Like, this is the world we live in, dog. Like, this is the world we live in.
I will point out you are a Big 3 champion. You are a Battle Mode 2-on-2 champion.
That's how my mother
Swaggy.
they come through. That's how my
And look, this is another thing that I hate. Nick Young has a ring. How many of you niggas is taking Nick Young over Gilbert Arenas in their prime? The fuck are we talking about? Excuse my language. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm taking Brandon Jennings over Nick Young in a prime. I didn't really watch McCants, so I can't talk about McCants. I'm not going to say nothing crazy about that. But just know that I picked Kenyon Martin over Nick Young. Every nigga here that don't have a ring, Nick Young only has a ring. I'm picking everybody that on the cast that doesn't have a ring.
fucking captain come through.
You know what? Something's wrong with y'all.
Okay, here you go. Here you
The
go.
problem is, I say research. You say personal.
Mm-hmm. Talk to him.
I'm pretty sure the conversation between them when Clay didn't make it, and they're sitting there asking why and crying and doing all this, someone goes and does the research for you and then gives you the answer. And then you attack the researcher. If you think there's something off about what I'm saying, then you answer the question. Why do you think Clay at the moment of time when they're voting has 3 rings. He has 2 All-NBAs, and he has 5 All-Stars. Why would that man be left off the top 75 for number 75, who has 6 All-NBAs and 6 All-Stars? You would think the 3 championships will push him over the top. So if you don't like my fucking research and my answer, then you answer it. And please don't say, I don't care. Come up with an educated answer.
Or don't respond. But what if,
32,
what if he doesn't care?
32 is Pippen. In front of Pippen is Allen Iverson.
You have to understand, bro. It's all political. Look, the top 75 list was very political. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. When they announced 75 niggas on the top 75, like 3/4 of them niggas I never even knew played in the NBA, and I ain't gonna hold you. And then on top of that, they got niggas in the top 75 without a ring. Then they left players off that was actually deserving of being on that damn fucking 75. I mean, they missed out on having Dwight Howard on the top 75. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't got Klay Thompson on the top 75, but they got Damian Lillard. And you know what's crazy? People was honestly telling me that they'd rather have Damian Lillard than Dwight Howard. This is what we deal with, bro. And it's like these are the same people that say rings matter. Rings don't matter, bro. I promise you, rings don't matter. Y'all think it matter. It only matters when they doing the GOAT debate and they want Michael Jordan in front of LeBron. I swear to God. They say, 6-0 beats 4-6. Shut up. Because if that was the case and if rings really mattered, then let's talk about how, but you can't say Bill Russell because that's not fair. At the time, but shut up, bro. 11 is more than 6, bro. 7 is more than 6. Robert Horry, rings matter or not, bro? I mean, for Christ's sake, the logo of the fucking NBA, bro, he has 1 ring. Went to 8 straight finals, won 1 ring, but he's the logo. So what are we talking about, bro? What are we seriously talking about? And then when they watch this, and then when they come to the GOAT debate, they go Michael Jordan, LeBron, then Kobe. It's like, okay, that don't make sense because it should be Michael, Kobe, then LeBron. But you can't do that because you know LeBron James is better than Kobe. He's low-key better than Michael Jordan, but you can't put him because you have nostalgia and this personal, this feeling. So it should be LeBron, Michael, Kobe. Kobe's a direct mirror of Michael. So how can he not be right behind Michael? That don't make sense. That don't make sense, bro. Because look, this media is about friendship and politics. Everybody that goes against Michael Jordan in the media disappears. Every time. And if you talk for that area or for him, you get paid. And I'm telling you now, the top 75, they got Scottie pimping that low because they know if it's any higher, they going to say, he was. You know what I'm saying? So they've been diminishing players from the 80s and 90s to make this man look good for decades, bro. Like, think about it like this. We don't hear nothing about Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, George Gervin. We don't hear about Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Charles Barkley. Like, there were so many good players back in the day, bro, that they don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? And it's low-key happening with LeBron era too. Because we don't talk about a lot of good players from our era. We don't talk about the Rudy Gays, the Paul Georges, the Danny, what is his name? I'm drawing a blank. He played for the Pacers. My bad, chat. Hold on. Danny Granger. The Danny Grangers. Michael Reds, OJ Mayo, Zach Randolph, Al Jefferson, Carmelo, and like Joe Johnson, Josh Smith. There's so many players that don't get talked about because they want to talk about the same people. I understand you want to get clicks. I understand you want to get, views. But dog, back in the day, ESPN used to have the top 10 plays. Where's the top 10 plays at, bro? They used to have more stories. They used to have a wide variety of players. They ain't talking about the same people. I get it. Celtics and Lakers bring in tickets. Knicks bring in tickets, brings in views. I get that. But we got a lot of players that play a lot of different places, bro. They got to be equal. I'm going off on a tangent, but you get what I'm saying, bro.
So come up with an answer that you can help the public. It has nothing to do with your feelings. Because I seen the answer. I seen when the Isaiah Thomas statement that Isaiah made when he basically said something about KD, where KD basically saved y'all careers and made y'all Hall of Famers, but he gets disrespected, but he saved y'all. Like I seen that interview, which is neither here nor there. I did the research, and all I'm saying is they, not me, bitch, this is not my personal opinion. They, from the research, seems like they don't give two shits about second option rings.
So, if y'all haven't seen the full list of the top 75, I'm going to show y'all, bro. NBA top 75 in order. Let me show y'all something, bro. I'm going to show y'all. Just give me a second. Watch this. All right. They going from top to bottom. We don't want that. We want the top. We want the other way around. Here we go. I'm interested. All right. Check me out. Check me out, chat. Check me out. Check me out. All right. So, number one, yours truly, Michael Jordan. Cool, whatever. Number two, LeBron James. Number three, Kareem. Bill Russell. Magic Johnson. Wilt. Larry Bird. Shaq. Tim Duncan. Kobe. Hakeem. Okay. We're looking good. Okay, we're looking good. Number 14, Jerry West. Rest in peace, but we're getting a little shaky. All right, okay. You see where I'm going with this, right? Look at this. Pippin's right here, right? Look. CP3. James Harden is top 75. Let's keep going. What the fuck is this? No ring. No ring. No ring. No ring. Like, I want y'all to understand where. No ring. So my thing is this, chat. LeBron James said his ring culture thing is weird because it's just the NBA that make you feel like you have to win a ring to be an all-time great. I'm gonna tell you right now, like I said earlier, the ring conversation only matters. Hold on. Exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and show this. The fact of the matter is, they say rings matter, but they have a lot of people on this top 75 that don't have a ring. And what LeBron James is saying is just because you don't have a freaking ring doesn't mean that you don't belong in the conversation with the all-time greats. You mean to tell me that since I'm going to use this example because it's the easiest one to do. Robert Horry and Kevin Garnett cannot sit at the same table? If anything, I'm moving Robert Horry out the table and putting KG at the table. But remember, KG only has one ring. You know what? I'll do something better. So you mean to tell me Charles Barkley can't sit at the same table? And this is what I'm talking about with this ring culture. It don't matter. Rings don't matter. They never did. They only matter because people want to ensure that they always keep Michael Jordan above LeBron. That's when ring culture matters. Is when they say, all right, it's Michael and LeBron. Well, LeBron has 4, Michael has 6. Break. You see what I'm saying? But if rings really mattered, then that means that everybody on this top 75 list should have at least 1 ring, right? That's false. James Harden don't even play defense in these top 75, bro. They don't even have Dwight Howard on this list. They don't have Dwight Howard or Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson's prime, he was probably one of the best defensive guards, knockdown three-point shooter that we ever seen. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This was like a barber talk. I had to talk about this. I said, would you rather have a prime Anthony Davis or a prime Dwight Howard? A lot of people were saying Anthony Davis. Me personally, I'm taking Dwight Howard. I'm sorry. I get it. AD can stretch the floor, but I need a big man. I need someone that's going to give me some rebounds, some alley-oops, some dunks. I don't want AD. I'd rather have Dwight Howard. That's just me, though. Who the fuck is this? Who is this? No disrespect. But who is this? Who is it? Matter of fact, Dave Cowens. You can't make this up. Hold on. Career stats. Matter of fact, averages. I just want y'all to see this, bro. I'm not making nothing up. Hey. He averaged 17 in his career. He averaged 17 points, 13 boards, and 3 assists a game. That's top 75. Dave Cowens. Let's see. I don't know if he got rings or not. Rings. He has 2 rings. 74 and 76. Cool. Fuck is this? Damian Lillard. What? Damian Lillard top 75. I'll rest my case, man. I'm not about to sit here all day and prove my point to y'all. Rings don't matter. They only matter when it's LeBron versus MJ and MJ has 6, LeBron has 4. When it comes to everything else, rings don't matter. I promise you. Because there are a lot of great players without rings that I'll take over players with rings. For example, we're watching Gil's Arena right now. Nate, in the chat, how many of y'all are taking Nick Young with this little ring over Gilbert Arenas in his prime? Prime for prime. You taking Gilbert Arenas or Nick Young? Matter of fact, I'll make it easy for you. Would you rather have Brandon Jennings in his prime or Nick Young in his prime? Trust me, I'll wait. I'm taking Brandon Jennings. I'm not taking Nick Young. Nick Young don't play no defense. Brandon Jennings doesn't either, but I guarantee I'm going to get 50 out of Brandon Jennings. Let's continue.
They're not valuing Scottie Pippen's 6 and 0 and Jordan's 6 and 0. They're not putting Kobe's 5 rings next to Derek Fisher's 5 rings.
No, they're not.
They're not. Whatsoever. Right? That's not me saying this personally.
Yeah.
Like the people who are voting for you, they never won a championship. And if I ask you right now and say, what is harder to do? Not me saying this personally. Win an MVP or win a championship? What would you say?
Probably harder to win an MVP.
Go. Disagree.
I'd say it's a championship.
Okay. Now,
You are a
mathematically,
champion.
You want to ask?
what is right? Versus 449 other people.
We got somebody in the Facebook chat. I just opened it up saying that they would take Nick Young. You're trolling. Because if you take a Nick Young over that, Nick Young was Gilbert Arenas' rookie, right? You're trolling, dog. All right, and then I see someone that says I look like Anthony Davis. You look like a Ninja Turtle. Lakers in 5. Tatum better than LeBron. Has nothing to do with anything. All right, keep going.
0.001 chance. Hold on. One. That's MVPs are then. That's because it's one versus the field. 450 people. Now, when it comes to a championship, it's one team versus 29 other teams. Right? That's 17 players versus 433 other players. So your percentage is actually higher winning a ring because it's a team thing and there's 17 of you guys winning. There's only in history, out of all of the NBA, there's only been 36 MVPs. 36 in the game of basketball. There's only actually been 36. So when you think they're voting for your career and who you are as a player, when you're talking about your ranking, do you really believe that they're using rings as the base or they're using your individual accolades? Because, like I said, if I remove the rings, what I'm saying is if you remove the rings and I say, all right.
He's the Hall of Famer.
I get it. No, what I'm saying is.
But why is he not top 75?
Now tell me this. I'm not asking that. I'm not talking about Hall of Fame. If I tell you who resume is better, 6 All-NBAs and 6 All-Stars, or 2 All-NBAs and 5 All-Stars, which one now belongs in 75? So now you know why Dame was 75 and he was pushed out. His body of work first is what we go off. The ring just solves the tie. If there's a tie, you got 6 All-Stars, you got 6 All-Stars, now I go to the rings. The rings don't supplement your individual greatness that you bring to the game.
I do too.
So when you think about here.
More hype than Clay.
Hold on. So when you talk about Pippen,
Wait for him to take a breath. Just jump in.
when you talk about Pippen, and Allen Iverson's in front of him, Allen Iverson has 11 All-Stars, 4 scoring titles, 3-time steals champs, 7 All-NBAs, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star.
Hey, and I like the way that Gilbert Arenas is breaking this down. He giving y'all statistics. He giving y'all research. He not just going off of personal opinion and nostalgia. He giving y'all stats and numbers. But see, nobody want that because when it comes down to stats and numbers, we know who really the GOAT is. We know who deserve to be on top 75. It's all political, bruh. It's who you know. It don't matter how good you was. It's about who you know, bruh. Them people on the top 75, some of them ain't even got rings. Bro averaged 8 points a game, but he on top 75, gang. Never heard of his name in my life, but he on that. It's because who he know, bruh. I'm telling you. That's why the logo will never change, bruh. They will never be who it's supposed to be.
Our MVP, 1-time All-MVP, right?
And what Clay do right after he didn't make it? Did they win the championship again right after that? Don't that shut all that shit off? That's what winning do. That's what winning mentality.
It shuts it off, but did it change anything? Did he move in front of him? It doesn't.
Got traded.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying it means something. It means something to the person who's doing it. Here's really a thing. What some person said. They said when you can't do anything individually, you use team accolades to justify it.
Damn.
And I'm gonna end it on that.
Selfish.
Because I'm gonna tell you what he's talking about. Players that not that good, i.e., Draymond Green, he lives off of those 4 rings because he ain't got nothing else. I know he got a couple defensive player of the years for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's easy to do when you have greatest backcourt in NBA history as well as you had KD as well. Like, you have to understand, bro. If Draymond Green isn't on the Warriors, does he have the same career? No. But I can't do what ifs. I can't do if for that or tit for I can't do none of that. But there are a lot of people that talk too spicy for me that don't have individual accolades. They were only good because of the system they were in. And this is why I respect certain players and why I call certain players the GOAT. Because when you are given an opportunity, for example, Cooper Flagg, let's use him right now. Cooper Flagg is probably in one of the best positions that we've ever seen out of a freaking number 1 draft pick. Back in the day, a number 1 draft pick used to go to a trash team. You want some examples? Give you one. Kyrie Irving, Cleveland Cavaliers, trash. Cavaliers used to get lottery picks every year. Cooper Flagg is put in a great position to win right now. He has a Hall of Fame coach. He is surrounded by Hall of Fame players and great team chemistry. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you're put in a good position and you succeed, that's cool. But I respect someone that get put in a position where they gotta earn it, like get right, move around a little bit, get their feet wet. You can't come right into a, you know what I'm saying? So like for Draymond Green, he has 4 rings. I don't care. Like Steph Curry's rings, he has 4. How many Finals MVPs do Steph Curry got? Nigga got 1. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the ring culture don't matter. It only matters when you want to boost your favorite player over somebody else. And that's all I got to say about that. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We ran for 40 minutes. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my socials. Comment. Let's get in the algorithm. This video right here was just made for the simple fact that great players are great players. Rings don't define how great you are. Rings define on how you took advantage of a certain situation that you were put in, because it's not a single accolade, it's a team effort. That's why even the 15 man on the bench gets a ring. Rings don't matter because there are a lot of bench warmers that got more rings than great stars. We don't care. It's just icing on the cake. But you can't allow that to end the argument. You can't. And if you want to say, oh, I can't say that, or I'm only saying it because my goal only has 4, at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's a team aspect. It's a team thing. You can't fault a player for not having many rings if they weren't given the opportunity, if their team wasn't as good. Like Allen Iverson. He doesn't have a ring. His team wasn't ready for those Lakers. It wasn't. There's a lot of teams that just wasn't ready for certain players. Charles Barkley's team was not ready for Michael Jordan's team. Gary Payton Sonics wasn't ready for MJ's team. There's like Cleveland Cavaliers wasn't ready for that fucking 2017-18 OKC freaking Warriors team. That 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers was not ready for that Spurs team. Like you just have to think about it like that. And if you want all examples of why rings don't matter, look at the top 75.